Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now Patterson to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across. The 40-yard line. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, going back to Patterson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could out of that run.
First and 10, it's Patterson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 59 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On second down, a run with Patterson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Algier will try to pick it up. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Patterson is into the end zone. It's a Falcons touchdown. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like it. Statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that It's the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out in his second season now out of Stanford. Here's Davis Mills.
And remember, when he came out of college, he left early, so a lot of people weren't really paying attention to
offline,
this
by the
man,
way.
he was entrusted with a leadership role early in his NFL career and didn't shy away from it. His goal, continue to prove that there should have been one more quarterback that went in the first round of the 2021 draft.
On 1st and 10, Mills. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Mills. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. A first down throw for Mills. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in.
Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
This pass is caught by London. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll run with Patterson. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Mills' throw taken in by Collins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mills. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, He's got second and third down to fall back on.
Mills' throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Try to pick it up on the ground with Burkhead. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. We'll bring out the Falcons offense once more. Cordero Patterson ready to go again at running back. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 82 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first down. Here's Patterson again. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Patterson running between the tackles. Good footwork at the 30. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Two minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. Touchdown. Desmond Ridder on target to Drake London. And the Falcons have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
Coup for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown catch from Drake London. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. throwing. Mills. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
121 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Fights through him. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And some room to roam now. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 31 yards there and a 1st down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone. Hopefully.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tyler Algier, as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons would extend their lead here just before halftime. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mills over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half. Mills. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So we've come to half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. But gutsy call there. Yates at the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Mills on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Come on now. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And they will remain well behind. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. Well, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
They find some open field here. Touchdown, Falcons. Cordero Patterson, 41 yards. And the Falcons open the lead up to 34-0. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the backflip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, But that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Pierce now up the middle. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Off the play fake, Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. To throw, Mills. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Avery Williams. And it will be an excellent return here all the way down inside the 25-yard line. What a play.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
That's complete right around the 8. Touchdown, Falcons. John Fitzpatrick from 10 yards out. And the Falcons add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. It's caught inside the 5. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
First down, Mills. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Down inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Here's Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. That for a momentum swing. You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, Carter, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Four-yard punt, return of 9. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta regains possession of the football. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
He hasn't been sacked all game, and there's an example as to why. Evaded the pressure, got out of the pocket, but even with the extra time, it doesn't translate into a completion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. 3rd down, here's Patterson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is incomplete.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And now out comes Houston. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Mills throw here into the hands of Moore. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, it's Mills. Open man is Howard, the tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.